it. We are rolling. Jesus. What a roll. Guy's got the biggest roll of cocaine you've ever seen. It's now all in his nose. He is now the new Snowflame.
Oh, I can feel the power coursing through me. Blood in my veins.
All the drugs and I'm still fat.
Welcome back to the Popcorn Talk podcast, where we talk about movies, media, and all other variants of such. I'm Dr. Squiggles, along with the Handsome Cat and Bat Kai.
Hello.
How you doing, folks?
Sorry it's been so long. We've had life basically not get in the way, but life took precedent.
Life threw a bunch of curveballs, and it made
life found a way.
Yep, life found a way, and it really made me ponder.
Yeah, it tends to do that to you a lot.
We have a current father, we have an expecting father, yours truly, thank you.
A godfather and a cousin father.
Godfather and a cousin father all in the same room.
This is my own grandpa. But nah, life really got me pondering. If you die a burn victim, do you get a discount at the crematorium?
So I hope everyone was enjoying Bat Kai's stoner thoughts to sort of pad the time until we got the next video out.
Forgot about that.
I mean, you can get the best coupons if you got a dog to pee on the ashes.
Why would that work?
You make gunpowder.
Exactly.
Oh, right, yeah. Cremate yourself so you can turn yourself to a bullet so your parents can shoot you.
Fuck. So shoot you after you're already dead?
Yeah. Have you never seen that? Yeah, you can turn your ashes into everything now. You can put your ashes into fireworks so they can just launch a firework.
Oh, okay. I thought you mean like shoot you so that you're like double dead.
No, they shoot the ashes of what you were. They put your ashes mixed in with gunpowder.
I use the stones to destroy the stones.
Exactly.
Well, I see you saved me a cookie.
Yes.
I had some leftover.
It's like a tin of butter. This is. That made me depressed when I opened
a tin of what butter?
Now I'm depressed, even more than I was.
A tin of one butter. That's it.
Of one slab of butter, like you get on your pancakes at the IHOP.
Couldn't leave two for the bit, so you'd be like, 2, count them 2, butter cookies.
Butter cookies.
Marshmallows.
Alright, so what movie do we have on the docket today, fellas?
So we are going to review the newest movie that just came out. It is called
To our knowledge.
Support Your Local Sheriff. Now, this is a fairly old new movie, but this would be counting nearly its 50th anniversary, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, watching it after not even knowing it existed. I love movies like Naked Gun. I love Top Secret. I love Airplane. I mean, you love Airplane, too.
Oh, I piss myself watching Airplane every time. It's great.
This is very akin to those types of movies, but, like, probably their predecessors. Like, the predecessor to all of those sort of parody movies.
It's similar to that because you have movies like this, and then it led into It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, which became Rat Race later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Basically, every time, or every decade, you have one or two big name movies known for parodies, and then once you hit
with the scary movies and
once you hit like the 80s, that's where everything started to take off in spades, where every bit of comedy used to be the perfect way.
Even movies like DHF were kind of making fun of TV in general.
Are you talking about the Weird Al movie?
Yes.
UHF?
Is it UHF? I'm sorry. UHF.
UFC?
Yes, UFC. I want to see Weird Al in a UFC match.
Now you see what I'm talking about.
Dressed as Captain Underpants.
Tell me, you would have my money instantly. Please, Weird Al, do it. I mean, we almost had Steve Irwin versus fucking Blade, like back when Steve Irwin was still alive and kicking. Rest in peace.
I mean, what actor isn't dead now that's beloved?
Fuck.
Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Okay, very true. But who else?
Okay, very true.
Danny DeVito.
Johnny Depp.
You know what? You nailed me on the head. Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
No one can feel Johnny Depp anymore. He died.
Oh, God.
He's still alive, folks.
He's dead to me, damn it.
He's throw that out there.
He's dead to me. He hasn't done anything memorable in the last 20 years.
20 years?
He beat a woman.
Exactly.
He beat a woman in an argument. In court.
His own wife in an argument.
He's
That's
alive.
not that
important. But
according to Hank Hill, that's not that impressive because women are always wrong.
Good God. But let's get back to supporting our local sheriff.
Speaking of Hank Hill, this movie is very almost Hank Hill, King of the Hill style humor. Straightforward.
The main character is a gaslighting son of a bitch.
Yes. But the main topic of this podcast was not about supporting your local sheriff. It's about supporting your local theaters to see the newest movie that just came out, Evil Dead Rise.
And with Evil Dead Rise, I will get this straightforward. You guys both know I'm not the biggest Evil Dead fan.
Yeah.
I'm not the greatest supporter or whatever.
Your most favorite, like...
I love Bruce Campbell. I love Sam Raimi. I love what it did for the horror community and all this, but...
Your favorite Sam Raimi movie to this date would be Darkman, and I don't blame you.
Let's say Darkman, Spider-Man, or even Drag Me to Hell had its moments.
Mm-hmm. I will admit, yeah.
Just give me the pink elephant.
Yeah, just take the fucking elephant.
But
what an infamous sin.
good old Liam Neeson, man. Hell, Bruce Campbell was in that one too.
Yeah.
For like 2 seconds.
Nanosecond, yeah.
Yeah, for 2 seconds at the end of the movie.
He said groovy.
No, he just looked at the camera and walked away. That was it.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, I'm due back on set for Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, he's like, someone called me.
He's like, did I leave the stove on?
Did I hear my name? Huh?
He just got asked.
Someone say groovy?
Bro, Sam Raimi must have told him to wait in the car that he puts in every movie, and had to come out to pee, comes back, camera's facing him, oh, whoops, better make this look good, and walk back to the car.
And that's the cup we're going to use. Nice job, Bruce. You did that on purpose, right?
Yay!
Yeah.
That'd be $32.50, pal. But
for you, Sam Raimi, a beer and a bar. That's all I need.
A beer in a bar and a acting role in the Gorge, or what was the Gorge or the Canyon, or
I think I said Bubba Hotep.
yes, Bubba
Hotep.
Hotep. But what was that movie? Not the movie. What was that game that came out that had Ted Raimi in it?
Oh, The Quarry.
The Quarry. There we go. And it had David Arquette in it. It was like a love letter to all horror movies. It's
using
great.
every other word for Corey.
The Gorge, the Canyon, the
rocks,
the gouge,
the gallows that Fred Flintstone works in. Yeah, you know,
the gigantic boulders. What were they called?
the glaciers.
Anything but a quarry.
But let's get on to the topic of rising to the occasion.
With my favorite Evil Dead movie being the one from 2013, this one, I went back to the originals, watched a couple like best of scenes and shit. It really holds true to what the Evil Dead franchise should be. It has its dark humor in spades. It has the silly campiness, but it's got its blood, gut, gore cranked up to a 12 in this movie.
There's so much blood. I think there's more blood than in Evil Dead 2.
And in this one, I'm usually pretty good at watching horror movies without wincing or having to think to look away. But there was a scene or two in this one where even I was like, God damn, they did this. Especially with the cheese grater.
The cheese grater
cheese grater just got me.
Still getting a little wincy right now.
Yeah.
God. I do see what they were saying about the eye, but that wasn't as... That was kind of funny, a little bit. That general kill was kind of humorous.
So his eye getting bitten out wasn't that funny, but when she spits it out into the other guy,
and
that was just pure goofy. That was just pure goofy. It's like, okay.
That was slapstick. That's like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's some classic.
Mouth wide open. It's like, I said, that's how you die? That's the most unimpressive way you...
I will admit, I wasn't expecting the little brother to die. Like,
oh, I was. I'm like, dude, if you're in the hall, it's for
saw him running, and then you just see him slam against the wall with their arms. It's just like, oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
I thought the cat was going to die, but then...
I thought so too, but
yeah.
no.
I'm pretty sure that cat was dead.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. They didn't show it.
Like I was telling our friend Sejan, if they killed the cat, that would have been very reminiscent of Reanimator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have an Evil Dead cat just running around everywhere.
Yeah. Or like Pet Sematary, essentially.
That too.
So.
But you're going...
I mean, but if you shoved it in the fridge, then it'd be Reanimator.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, going back to, like, Chris from 3C Films review that I was showing you, I think for an actual Evil Dead fan like you guys are, it hit all the marks the way it should have. It represented what it needed to be, where it needed to be, what it needed to be. The high-rise was actually utilized really well in my thoughts. And the jokes, the silliness, everything worked out the way it should. It's what an Evil Dead movie should have been. And it did its job very well.
I do agree.
Yeah.
I think it did really well. As like avid fans of Evil Dead in general, It has all the a lot of the nuances that the older movies put through. Even the ones from you could basically put every one of these movies together, and it'd probably be a quadrilogy.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, even throwing Army of Darkness into the fray, you could definitely see that being a part of it.
I mean, Army of Darkness is part of it, too.
Well, yeah.
And that is canon, thanks to the TV show.
Yeah, the TV show even. The TV show kind of fits into this fray as well. Makes
Yeah.
a few things make more sense.
Well, they also put in there that there's 3 different books now, so each version of the Evil Dead movies are its own book.
Mm-hmm.
Like the original ones where Ash was there, it's his book. The one from 2013 with Ash Lee, that's her book. And then you have this one with Beth. It's a whole different ballgame. And I like that this one actually did cover a little more in the book to be a little different than the other ones, not so copy-paste.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The first and second book were pretty similar.
Yeah, and to know that, dismemberment doesn't work on this one. Burning them doesn't really do anything but tickle them. And,
Yeah.
what is there to do outside of just blow them all to absolute hell? And even that's not working according to the Reverend.
Yeah.
The only thing that really works is if you put them in a cremation thing and make them pure ashes, or throw them into a wood chipper.
And even the ashes, it's implied that they could just go into another body if they're breathed in.
Well, that was your idea, but that's never confirmed.
Yeah, it's not confirmed, but it's implied that
it's possible
even after complete decimation, they're still around, using that same method.
Well, again,
in a way,
it's debatable. It's like I've talked about this before. Nothing's really ever been told how long the Evil Dead presence really lasts. Because, I mean, from the first movie, there's that whole time before the Nobis find it. But by the time Nobi finds it and then Ash comes along, it's like a span of 3 years and the presence was already gone. So it's not really determined as if everyone's dead in the vicinity and there's no one around, then it just kind of fades away.
That's true.
And then someone has to say it again to reactivate it, or what? Oh, yes.
Tonight?
Today.
Oh, yeah, I'm good with that.
3 p.m.
Yeah, I'm good.
So we got an hour.
We got invited to Mexican food. Awesome.
We got an hour 40, so.
Hell yeah.
Alright, cool.
Alright, going back to the movie.
But yeah. Despite all of that, it is really unique, like how I was saying, how each book has its own different rules. So there is a lot of Evil Dead-isms in this Evil Dead movie, stuff from the first movie, the second movie, from the remake, and it's all played out really well. It's all played out very smart, but there are a couple scenes wait, why didn't this happen to this person? And it's because it's not the same book. Each book's page represents how a person can get infected or inflicted with the curse.
It's basically
It has
the
its own
Deadites
properties to
to-do
that.
list sort of thing.
Pretty much.
A lot of their mannerisms and everything, to a point to where at the end there's just this whole different combination that they're able to do that we didn't even know it was possible.
Yeah.
Where they basically human centipede themselves together, and then but I called it the human beetle.
The human beetle, the human spider, either or. It's all the same.
My name's the human spider.
Oh, that sucks.
You need a better name.
The Amazing Spider-Man! What's up, baby?
Well, I was thinking because I didn't watch the movie at all, but I seen the trailers.
Mm.
And what I got out of the trailers, I could see that it's gory, it's intense,
Yeah,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
it's all that and more.
Keep going.
and pretty much I don't know the movies at all, but what I'm gathering from it,
It's a fucked up monster.
because they're based off of zombies, right?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yes and no.
It's like if demons took over a dead body.
Okay, so kind of like zombies. But in
Kind
a
of,
different
but they're a
way.
lot more malicious. They are smart.
So they're different because they can actually use their brains.
Oh, their brains.
I'll say,
they're like rage-filled ghosts.
I was saying, think of it like a ghost just taking control over someone. Because you don't have to be dead. You can be alive and they just take control of you.
Okay.
Right. So it's,
But even
it's,
after you die, they still take your body over.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it looked interesting, but I'm not too fan of.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't go to see this.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I know you would
No.
have been like,
Especially you right now, no.
There was a scene that involved a pregnant lady.
So that makes me not want to.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't see it.
And that's why we're making the joke, because
Nothing happens with that scene, but
well, there's two sisters in this movie. One is pregnant, and the other one has just freshly dyed her hair red. That's why yes, exactly. That's what I was saying when I first came home. You're both the sisters combined in one.
It's like, oh god, stop recording! Stop it!
Stop
Yeah. Stop it!
So, again, my only biggest complaint with this movie, though, is everything else is really good. My only complaint is that everyone's kind of stone-faced. Yeah, so
there wasn't a whole
so
lot
Lily,
of emotional...
so it's Lily's like I'm sad right now. I've got a problem, and it's like she sounds sad, but she does not look sad. The conveying of how sad she is not being told really well.
So they didn't show very good emotion.
Not till the
expression for their.
Not till the end of the movie, and we've talked about this before. I don't remember talking with these guys, but I think the only problem, the reason why they had him stone faced, is because the way that Lay's facial expressions are just by herself, is that they wanted to make the demons look more animated than the humans.
Okay.
Which is completely fair, but it makes everyone just seem kind of like a wall.
Exactly.
Everyone's just a walking wall. And it's like, okay.
Like, they wanted to save their real acting for when they actually got taken over.
Basically, they're just props, and the main vocal point is the demon.
I mean, that's pretty much like how this Deadites view people is like, this is the vessel in which I'm going to entertain my friends.
This is a meat puppet. I need it. I love meat puppets. Come here.
Yeah, essentially it's like a slapstick meat puppet doing horrible things to everyone else.
And there is a lot of comedic bits in this point with the Deadites.
So many.
The Deadites are the most comedic thing in this whole movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I cannot quote a single line because I don't remember them, but there's so many that are just like, oh my gosh.
Get the creepy crawlies out of my tongue.
It's like,
I don't like having things in my tongue.
The way they're delivered, the way they're said is just funny. It is good.
That was the joke in there. Like, she said that to the pregnant lady after eating glass.
Yeah, because she was throwing up a bunch of leeches.
I mean,
so
that was another thing that actually kind of got me to twitch was when she was swallowing the glass. You saw the shards piercing through her throat as they were going down. I'm like, oh
that was
God,
that was really good. It was like, wow.
I'm like, okay,
I've swallowed things with sharp edges, but holy fuck.
I'm sitting there remembering my PTSD with shark Doritos, but I'm just like,
Oh, so that's what Doritos look like going down my neck.
That's what 3D Doritos did.
It's like, that's not what I want to do now.
But
eat more Doritos.
But I do agree with you. The emotional range really wasn't there visually.
I think the most emotional of the kids was the little girl. I forget her name.
Yeah,
Cassie. She was my favorite out of those siblings, honestly.
You start to feel so bad for her, though, man.
Well, she's like, what, 6? Or 8, maybe?
8 at most. She's a very small girl. Mm-hmm. Well, let's be real. The best character in this whole movie was Staffney.
Staffney was the best.
It is literally just a staff with a baby doll on top of it.
It's like a broom handle with a baby doll's head taped on it.
Yeah, exactly. And they just call it Staffney. That's it.
And it's literally like her way of warding off bad people or something.
Yeah.
Like, to scare them away.
And it ends up being used as a weapon later. But yeah, Staffney's the real G here.
The real G protecting the whole household. Even though she didn't do much, she did provide a sense of security.
And, and she did a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least we thought she did a lot. But regardless, it was still effective.
Mm-hmm.
But going off of the tropes that you found, or problems, are you getting a call?
No, I'm just messing. Oh, it's because I'm messing with it. It's trying to dial SOS.
Oh shit.
That's not what I want.
Don't dial SOS. We don't need the police here.
No. Or do we? We want to talk about Evil Dead. You guys need to see this movie.
Come on, watch Evil Dead with us, cops.
Now remember, if you see a lady walking out with a chainsaw in the middle of the road covered in blood like she just came out of a fucking meat factory, don't arrest her. She's doing God's work.
But I also noticed a couple of tropes that got me, again, because Beth ended up getting a glass shard through her hand. That would sever any kind of muscle you have in there. It's not going to work at that point. You're not going to be able to close it. You're not going to be able to work with it. You can still operate it like she did the shotgun. Fine. But she's not going to hold that chainsaw. She's not going to do anything else that she was doing. Because that happened midway through the movie.
Yeah.
And she's still thwarting off everyone else. trying to swing hammers and shit with it. I'm like, no. And why is it every single time in these horror movies, the teenage daughter is always the pro-Earth, far liberal person that says everyone else is doing something wrong and she can't be blamed for anything because it's always someone else's fault.
I mean, think about it. It's a sign of the times.
Have you seen The Simpsons?
Bruh.
Oldest brother, younger daughter, and then the youngest daughter.
This was the Simpsons going through Evil Dead.
It's Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. I nailed it.
And Maggie's also the best one.
We got Selma and Velma, whatever the sisters
Selma and Velma.
Whatever the sisters
Dude,
were.
Patty and Selma?
Patty and Selma.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I have
They-
never
they
met
left-
anyone
they-
that hates Maggie.
They left.
Maggie's great.
They left Bart, Lisa, and Maggie with Patty and Selma. That's the movie.
And I
Oh,
mean,
look,
like,
they
Bart
dropped
is
the
the one that
pizza.
got him into trouble?
Oh shit, he's not
The-
wrong.
And Bart would drop a pizza. I can see him doing that.
Yeah.
See?
We dropped the pizza.
This is The Simpsons, but with these characters instead. Because
So-
there's no Marge or Homer.
Can we talk about the mixing in this movie? Like, the sound quality? Like, sounds themselves that would make you cringe. Like, with all of the deaths
Yeah.
and everything, just like, it worms itself into your brain and just, like, makes you squirm a little bit. Especially the cheese grater scene, because you heard that.
Yeah, you heard the
Audibly.
metal peel through the skin on the back of her leg.
It was like peeling carrots. It was horrible. Oh, God.
I think it sounds like it's a good movie that captures every detail.
It does.
Yes.
It does. Especially when they're summoning the Deadites there.
It's a horror movie for every kind of horror fan. If you're into the gore and torture porn like Saw movies, this is for you.
Oh,
if you're into demonic entities, this is for you. If you're into twisted shit that could traumatize you, guess what? If you're into sick, twisted, funny stuff like Leprechaun and other dumb shit,
And
all
Evil
for
Dead.
you.
I think this movie only benefits really well because Bruce Campbell was producing. I'm sure he had a lot of oversight.
Oh, was he
over
producing
it.
the movie?
Yeah.
Sam
Oh,
Raimi,
shit.
Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell were the producers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
sweet.
was saying,
That's
Bruce
cool.
Campbell's name was on there first before Sam Raimi's, which I found was really interesting. Regardless, I don't think if they had that kind of direction, this movie would have probably been a lot worse. Because
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell knows just as well as Sam Raimi how exactly these movies and TV series or whatever Evil Dead is, how it feels. And
Because
how,
it was originally
in
Sam
essence,
Raimi's and
Bruce Campbell.
and Bruce Campbell's like child. It's like their whole thing back in college. They made it as like a student film at first.
And then it became a big hit in Canada, and then they did a second one.
Mm-hmm.
This is the horror movie version of Clerks.
Yes, I believe that.
Yeah.
Absolutely believe.
Then you have spin-offs, just like you had Jay and Silent Bob and Mallrats, and you had different TV
Actually,
shows.
So would that make Sam Raimi Silent Bob?
Yeah.
And then
'Cause he's
Bruce
behind
Campbell's Jay?
Yeah, because he's behind the camera not saying anything.
Well, yeah, and Bruce Campbell's usually the talker, so Bruce would be Jay
Yeah.
in a fucking heartbeat. I would love to hear Bruce Campbell start singing that fuck, motherfuck.
I'm singing fuck.
You don't mind Pretty Kate half the time. She's playing Resident Evil 4 remake right now.
Yeah, she's kicking ass too.
No, she's
God.
kicking barrels.
Yeah,
Barrels up.
kicking barrels, kicking salamanders in the face, and kicking this fucker.
Wow, that went right over your head.
No shit, that was right by you. Get a buzz cut.
Unlike the very beginning of this movie, where a lady had a
Oh, she got
Oh,
fucking
the
scalped and got that shit.
That
wiped
like
off.
well, I
I
was
got
gonna
an
say-
audible gasp out of that.
Well, I was gonna say the lady who was infected at first had the drone with the metal blades on it and smashed her face
Yeah,
into
she
it.
just shoved her face into the spinning blades of the drone.
So
Yeah.
right, and that is another thing we'll say. If you're expecting after credits, don't, because the intro is the end credits of this movie.
Basically,
Essentially.
yes.
Basically, showing that the entity is still around.
So there is 3 completely different characters in the beginning of this movie that have nothing to do with this whole movie, and by the end of it, right before one character shows up, I was wondering too. I'm like, how does any of this tie in with the intro? And it's like, oh, because this takes all place in an apartment. Well,
In 24 hours.
what? Well, how does this other lady get involved? Well, she's 3 floors under, so she never heard a single thing. It's like,
So
okay,
you're telling me you wouldn't have fucking heard any of that through the night, but then she equated it to like thunder, and then she wasn't able to sleep.
well, I mean, there was an earthquake too, so I mean,
Yeah.
like,
There
yeah,
was an earthquake,
Earthquake, no signal, possibly thunder. Who knows?
Yeah.
All 3 floors above me. I don't hear shit.
Just our neighbors are causing a commotion. I won't. I'm gonna be In my apartment.
Well, then you also have to remember this is also taking place in an apartment that's going to be condemned within a month.
Yeah, that's true.
So the fact she doesn't mind the whole stairwell being filled with concrete stairs pieces everywhere, she's completely fine. It's okay.
Yeah, how was she able to get down the stairs? Those stairs were gone.
Well,
Or was it only a portion of the stairs?
it was only a chunk of the stairs.
It's possible it only stopped at the second floor, right before it hit her floor, the 5th floor.
Okay, fair.
Right. But yeah,
But,
this movie is filled with a lot of Evil Dead isms everywhere. The way to escape is blocked off. In this case, it's an elevator and stairs. There's no way down.
Come to find out, the only reason that the elevator doesn't work is because there's keys blocking the door.
Yeah, that's why it keeps opening and closing.
Well,
the
and
whole time.
then you're able to open up the windows and try to jump, but it's too far down. And you can try to scream for help, but the rain coming down is too loud. No one's going to hear you. You're sitting there, okay, they covered every kind of base, so...
And the only way to get into the fire escape is through a door that has already been locked down, nailed shut. And you have to either use a shotgun or break it open with maybe a hammer and a screwdriver, maybe.
But overall, I have my little trope issues with the movie, but I haven't seen a horror movie like this in a while, and it was well done. I'm happy I saw it when we did. At first, I didn't even really want to see it at all because it was another Evil Dead movie, but knowing what it was, especially hearing what Chris was saying about it,
Right?
I'm definitely ecstatic that I did go see it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of yellow cave paper.
I'm glad that I got you that ticket. Because
And-
that was an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, look
Oh yes, and I
I
would
kind of want to go back and see it again. Just a little bit.
but say it is one that I probably will end up seeing again.
I'll get the full collection. I'll get
And-
like all the 3 old ones, the 2013 one and this one, to update my stock.
Yeah.
And I would honestly probably give this a solid 8.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I
was-
really liked it.
I would say I think we're all about the same range. I was thinking either 8 or 9. So yeah,
Yeah.
around there. It's not a perfect movie, but there is a lot of references. It's a good movie. The way a lot of the kills are shown, it didn't really gross me out, but a lot of it made my skin crawl. I was like, ugh, like that is just the way how everything's done. Is like it's done to a little bit more intensity than most normal horror movies do it.
Well, I also admire the use of practicality.
That too,
yeah,
yes.
The practicality really played very well into this to where it didn't seem like such a CGI gore fest
Yeah.
until you got into the
There's
the elevator later in the movie when it starts to fill.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
Which is also a very funny reference because they also got the Shining reference in there.
Yep.
yeah, I thought that was
Yep.
good too.
Yeah. Instead of just exploding out of blood, its characters flying out while exploding out with blood. But yeah, overall, it is a very good movie. Again, a lot of the way the kills are done got under more of my skin than Scream 6 would have ever done.
Oh, those Scream
5.
movies aren't meant to be like.
That's this
Gore fest like
Ghostface could
this.
never come to.
Well,
this
I mean,
intensity.
with the latest one, it was getting close. Because the only one that made me feel that way was when the lady fell out of off the apartment building from the
Oh, and
ladder
then
and
hit
smashed her
the
head
tree.
in with the
man, that was
garbage can.
That was
That's
brutal.
what I'm saying. The newest one was getting closer to that, but other than that, yeah, no, this is really good. It's fun. Again, it feels a lot of the Evil Dead ism. So if you know the Evil Dead movies really well, you'll catch a lot of references from older movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there's a couple Joan didn't know, and I had to tell him. He's like, "Oh, is that why I looked goofy?" I'm like, "Yes, it's because that's from a movie. That's why I looked goofy."
One thing I do enjoy about this movie is that it keeps you guessing on where the book is coming from, because we were having this whole discussion about, like, oh, did the earthquake, like, just summon the book there, and it's, like, appearing randomly throughout the world, but then they confirm, like, oh, it's actually been put in a safety deposit box in the bank underneath the actual building.
Which was brought up very briefly, and it's like, oh, there's the bank they were just talking about. That makes a lot of sense. So it wasn't just, like, fake rumors.
It wasn't just there.
Which, hey, now I'm thinking about it, the elevator... Well, no, I guess the basement would have been the underground garage, I guess.
Oh, and do you remember that comment that the little girl made? I always forget her name, I'm sorry. Cassie, yeah. Cassie was relaying the legend of... what was his name? It was a ghost of the bank that closed down that if you have enough change in your pockets, the ghost will look for you and kill you just to take your money.
Yeah, and
That she said that the ghost made an audible jingling sound. That could have been the crucifixes that were below the ground, that were maybe audible at some point.
right, because the crucifix.
Like earthquakes are commonplace in California.
But the crucifixes were made of everything. Like
they're all metal, all wood, or
some of them were made of just 2 nails and string.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
so it could have been
just anything to get the Holy Lord on your side.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that. That's good catch. I didn't catch that either.
But yeah, I'm definitely happy we ended up doing this one. But is there anything else you guys need to say on this one?
I would say this has only been 30 minutes. Do you guys want to talk about it more in depth, or do you guys want to call it good?
We should probably start shortening these up so they're more digestible.
Well, plus we also have another one we're talking about here. To jump from one good movie to an even better movie.
I wouldn't say it's better, but I mean it is good, regardless.
But we'll save that discussion for the next video.
Yeah.
All right, we'll roll the die and move right on.
Oh, we're gonna move right on.
Do we want to do it in the same video, or do we want to do it in another video?
Another video. Again,
All right, you guys
shorter and sweeter. That way I can also get ready for the lunch we're about to have. So.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, overall, 8.
8.5.
Yeah, I'd say it's a solid 8.5. So probably 8.2 would be the average.
Around there, yeah.
Yep. A solid. Go out and spend the money.
Please.
Yeah. Support your local theaters, not your sheriff.
Yeah. don't gaslight your love interest.
If you do want to support your local sheriff, it is free on YouTube. So your call. Either you can spend money to see a new movie, or watch it for free and watch an old movie.
And it's very funny. It's very worth your time.
But until then, I'm Kai.
I'm Dr. Squiggles.
And I'm the handsome cat.
Till then, stay poppin'.
Bye.